better. All right. So this is our Winchester 1897 that I'm restoring for a friend of ours. It was in real rough condition. It was sad to see. I asked them if I could make this project for myself. They agreed. Just pitting, covered rust, action wouldn't move. But it's such a unique piece and a great historical piece that I had to ask them to save it. So this is the end result. And it's a very kind of stiff gun. I'm surprised. I've never used one of these before. But I think it's just oil needs to seep in, grease needs to get into it. We'll just keep working on it a little bit, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. I used the Birchwood Casey cold bluing kits. I used just the super glue on the barrel, and I had ground it and sanded it and cartwheeled it. I used a carting wheel to get the finish up, but there's so much pitting in this thing, and it was so deep that some of it had to be ground off.
Here, let's do a close-up.
Sure. Just to get all the raised rust off of it. You don't want anything that's raised off of the original height of this barrel. That means that there's rust that's under there, and you keep scraping at it, you'll see the rust flaking out. You got to take it down to where the barrel is. You can't get the pitting out. You're just not getting that out. Anyone who's done enough work or seen this stuff done knows that's just the case, and that's okay. This isn't a this is as close to a restoration as you could get.
Yeah.
For something like this.
Took the blue nice though.
Yeah, so we had to take the whole thing down to the white, and I know a lot of people say, well, you want to try to preserve the finish, but if you really look at the condition that this thing was in, you can see pitting all through the receiver here, on this side. Yeah, it looks like some of the blue didn't quite take right through here very well, but you know, it was my first project, so I was happy with how it turned out.
The wood turned out good too, and we just you just did a little light sanding and some.
Well, as you can see, the check rings all down to just
naturally
minute little check rings. So I didn't want to take much off of it, and I haven't put the buttstock back on. I got to condition that rubber.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see the functionality here before Bob had to head back to the homestead.
Yeah.
But it turned out great. That Birchwood Casey super blue works great. It's a great finish. All these internal parts, I used the perma blue because I just bought the super blue by itself, and then later went to my gun store and got the whole kit because I saw it came with the finish remover, which I wanted to get my hands on. So I used the perma blue. It works a little slower. It doesn't seem to pop that dark blue as well as the super blue does. So the barrel is in a super blue. The magazine is in a super blue, but it didn't come out the same. Must be two different metals. They do say that your results will vary based on the metal that you're using the treatment on. But overall, this thing was rust. It was super textured. It had flaking rust on it. The action was inoperable. I had to soak it in oil just to get these parts apart, and then strip it down and start from scratch. Super complicated gun. John Browning, a genius, but maybe a little over-engineered. It's
lots of little screws and things, and
it's a hassle. I've taken apart and put together a lot of guns, and this one,
things that had to be turned just right to get the little tab to slide in something.
Functionality of it now, it's great.
And it's a slam fire, so you can hold the trigger down and slam fire it.
Yeah, if you wanted to, yeah. And this is the less popular. Everyone likes the shorter. This is the trench gun that they used in World War I, but
that's a trap gun.
This is
30 inch.
It says right on the
30-inch trap gun.
Right on the bolt here that this is designed for trap. This is a trap gun.
Oh yeah, trap gun right there.
And maintained it maintained the Winchester name real well here. I think this is not the original front stock on this thing, because I doubt Winchester would cover their name, but
Probably had a corn cob or something on it.
I don't know what it would have, but you know, you still see, I tried to preserve as much of the
serial numbers,
the lettering,
there, right?
and the numbers and the cartouches on the barrel as best I could. But you gotta say, that bluing turned out great.
Yeah.
That Birchwood Casey stuff, for the price that you're paying, all in all, I'd say I got $40 in a carding wheel, which is a super soft grinding wheel brush that isn't meant to take out metal, just mostly finish and rust. Steel wool, cleaning stuff, PB blaster, the kits for the bluing.
And the metal really soaked up the bead blaster, right?
Yeah, I've been saturating this barrel pretty much every day for a week. Just getting it to soak up as much as it could, because I know it's not going to get used. I'm going to unfortunately return it back to its owner. It's a family piece, and they're not shooters, and didn't know what to do with it. They had stuck it in their garage in South Carolina. That's a death sentence. So I chastised them. I took the gun, I cleaned it up, I did my best, and I'm gonna give them like a silicone sock for it. And say, could you please put this in the closet?
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with it. It turned out great. It was a great first project. I'm looking forward to doing more of them. So.
Yep. And since it was a shotgun, you didn't have to worry about corroded out rifling.
Yeah. No, it seems like the elephant's got some little picadillos to it. Looks like it's, I don't know if that's a characteristic of the gun or not. Looks like, so you gotta really pull it forward, but looks like it wants to come unlocked without engaging the trigger in the hammer back. It also feels like it's the way you rotate the...
It's only got one rail. Well, a lot of shotguns have two rails, one on each side.
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe I'll tinker with it a little more, see if I'm missing something as far as how that action's supposed to go. But
and it's a breakdown model, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this turns, let's see, this pops up, and then the whole assembly rotates out, but
yeah,
no, I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, the whole thing comes out, and
so you can take the barrel off from the receiver.
Yeah. So this whole assembly comes off from the gun. You can store it in a bag, something convenient.
Yep. Very cool.
Oh yeah, there we go. I didn't lock it back, so that now it came back out. There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So, pretty slick gun.
Yep.
Slick back together.
Very cool.
Yeah, for historical purposes, it's kind of a fun piece. But it was not a fun... I mean, it was fun to learn, but man, this thing is complicated gun for me. Come on. Oh well. More greasing needs to be done, it looks like.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get it back together.
All right, cool.
So, yep, Winchester, 1897.
Yep. Very cool. I have no idea how old it is, I guess, huh?
I'm sure we could look up the serial number on it, but I don't know. I don't know much about these guns. I just saw it and knew it was something that needed to be preserved. So.
All right, well, we'll close with that then.
Yeah, so I can get this back together.
Yeah.